Hey y'all, it's Anime Caveman, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 34th episode of Gegege no Kitarou. And I gotta say, this episode finally fucking did it. Our lovable scumbag Ratman was finally fucking useful for once. After a long string of episodes where he was just a throwaway character. And then simultaneously, I gotta give props for Toei for making Agnes a more fully fleshed character with character development. Because it was nice to see her care about the whole yokai Japanese group now, where she was making sandwiches for them before a trip. Then you see her talk with Mana on advice, where Mana says you should go with them if you want to. It was nice to see snippets of Mana's maturity. And then it was nice to see Agnes look forward to the trip in her own way. Those were sweet scenes. And the scenes where she was crying, like when Ratman told Agnes she should leave because Ratman behind the scenes was working with Carmelia in order to pretty much get the Western yokai off their Japanese yokai backs. Even though Ratman, he was a fucking idiot there. Should have realized that these Western yokai are savages, and after what they did to the Malaysian yokai, he would think that Ratman would be like, maybe these Western yokai can't be trusted. Shit. But then again, Ratman's not the sharpest tool in the shed, because if he was, he'd be fucking rich and all that, and he probably wouldn't be hanging out. Actually, he probably would be hanging out, but he'd probably be fucking loaded. So, yeah, he's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, but at the very least, I like how that Toei did justice by him by actually making him do something epic. And I'll mention that later in the review, but Agnes, whoa, it was cool to even see her cry, like when Ratman was talking bad about her, and then later on the scene when Backer was possessing the Japanese yokai to go against Kitarou, and Agnes was crying. All those scenes were sweet, and it's showing her character development, because it's showing her care about multiple people now, and it's making her a more fully fleshed out character. So these are all nice elements, and even Kitarou too, because this episode you finally saw him smile more, and it was cool to see him finally acknowledge Agnes and even Ratman as a friend, because even though, yes, the episodes have emphasized that Ratman and Kitarou have a friendship, it never really emphasizes it, and I like how this episode really emphasized their link too, and that was pretty fucking boss. And then Backbeard. My goodness, oh man, he was so epic! Especially when you see him like slowly capture the yokai and possess them and all that kind of jazz. That was pretty nice. The only thing it does is it opens up a bit of plot holes into Gegege no Kitarou. And that I cannot ignore, because it makes you wonder, why didn't Backbeard use his abilities of yokai possession? And say when he first went into the yokai Gegege forest, and why didn't he just possess yokai there and make it harder for Kitarou to fight in the beginning of the Western yokai arc around there? It wouldn't have made it easier for him, so it kind of opens up a plot as to why didn't Backbeard just use his possession powers in the first place. I mean, you would think that'd be such a useful battle tool. So, that kind of does open up a plot hole, but it doesn't make this episode bad. This episode is still fucking great, despite that. The only thing it does is it keeps this episode from being a 10 out of 10 in my opinion, but everything else is spot on, because aside from that, this episode did other things well. Like, it had a lot of comedic scenes where with Ratman's farts, where they literally banned him from going on a trip near the beginning of the episode, because they showed a flashback of him making a fart. And then when it had like this fucking smelly green aura, even I felt like I was speaking. I was like, oh my goodness, that shit was nasty. But it fit to the episode because it got me some chuckles. And then I was surprised when they actually used it as a plot relevant situation, because when they actually had Ratman use his fart to get out of the hold out of a possessed royal cloth to knock out Carmelia, and then knock out all the possessed yokai, Japanese yokai all in one go, I was like, what the fuck? That shit's like the fucking atomic weapon equivalent, but instead of an atomic weapon, it's a fucking stink bomb weapon against yokai, because holy shit, that shit was so... It looked fucking deadly, so props to the animators, because it made me want to puke. Yet it looked simultaneously powerful at the same time. Powerful, so damn. props to the animation team. And then when he randomly used this fucking lighter to make a kamikaze explosion to give Kitarou a distraction so that he can punch Backbeard, and then Agnes can use the magic also to like make a hole into Backbeard. That shit was pretty fucking cool to see that nice bit of teamwork, even though Backbeard seemingly escaped. So that might have been just like some kind of shadow clone or some shit, or some kind of a clone. Who knows? But all in all, those were cool scenes, and it was cool to see Ratman use his abilities to the fucking fullest. Cause shit, at this point, from the power scaling standpoint, this episode kind of implies that if Ratman wanted to, he could be like the second strongest yokai. Cause good God, that fart. That shit is fucking powerful. My goodness. So that was nice too, to finally have Ratman do something useful. And then also, I gotta say, this episode had a lot of great animation. There was a lot of Sakuga. Almost all the character animation with Ratman was great. The fight scenes in this episode were pretty good, because in the scene where Kitarou gets hit by Cat Chick, it looked pretty painful. So that was nice. And then the scenes where Agnes was crying was pretty good, because they had a lot of good shading. And all in all, from an art animation standpoint, there's no complaints. From a character standpoint, there's no complaints because of the Ratman and Agnes character development. And then seeing Kitarou smile, seeing more facets of his personality, like happiness, is pretty nice. So from that standpoint, it was perfect. From the standpoint, it was pretty cool too, because there was even a scene where it felt like an epic Naruto track. I'm not even shitting you. I'm gonna see if I can find that epic Naruto track in the link, but I know it's been useful for. I'm gonna link it in the comment section if I can find it. So from a sound standpoint, it was fucking phenomenal. The actors and actresses in this episode were phenomenal. And so the only downside was that plot hole from a story standpoint. But other than that, everything else was good. At least it made Backbeard feel like he could be a legitimate threat. So that was nice. And yeah, these are my thoughts on the episode. I'm going to give it a spanking 9 out of 10. So anyways, guys, comment your thoughts on the episode below in the comment section. Rate the video, subscribe if you want to see more reviews or reactions. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.